Well, I felt like it was for him a much safer fight than fighting someone like myself, because for me, it's like, yeah, we both older, but we both know the game. Jake is learning the game, so it's a little bit easier to try to take a chance with a guy who's learning the game as opposed to a guy who knows the game.
Boxing experts have revealed why Jake Paul will beat Mike Tyson. At 27, the YouTuber-turned-boxer has stormed into the ring, often squaring off against former UFC veterans past their prime. With only one loss to his name, against Tommy Fury, he's now set to take on the sport's youngest heavyweight champion in a bout featuring 2-minute rounds and 14-ounce gloves. 38 years have passed since Tyson claimed his first championship title. He retired in 2005 after enduring consecutive losses, and numerous voices within the sport have cautioned that participating in this event might not be wise. In an interview with Sky Sports, Lennox Lewis, who famously defeated Iron Mike Tyson in 2002, shared his initial reaction upon hearing the announcement of the upcoming fight. He said, "I was thinking that Jake Paul was going to be in trouble because Mike Tyson knows how to throw great body punches, great headshots. We just have to see if he's going to do them in the ring. I'm hoping that he'll do that." The Lion responded in the affirmative when asked if his former opponent, who is 58 years old, could regain his form. He added, "It's a task. It's hard to box when you're that old. Moving around the ring, throwing punches, getting punches thrown at you. But I think he can handle it." Lastly, a question about his predictions for the 8-rounder was posed. He further expressed, "Mike Tyson just kind of cutting off the ring, throwing body and head blows when he can catch up to Jake Paul. I'm sure Jake Paul will be moving fast, moving around the ring. He's not going to want to stand there and get hit by Mike Tyson. I'll be there. It's going to be exciting." Regarding the impending encounter between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, Hall of Fame boxing referee Richard Steele issued a warning. "With Mike Tyson, it's so dangerous even for the referee because you got to be close, but you got to be far away to be able to allow them to do their thing." Steele, who refereed 6 of Tyson's fights, told USA Today Sports, he said, "You had to be always aware of what's going on because one of Mike Tyson's punches could really hurt the other guy, and maybe he doesn't need to take the other punch." The public does not yet know who will take on that task. Mange, spokesperson for Texas Combat Sports Regulatory Department, announced last week that there were no updates yet regarding the selection of referees or judges for the Tyson-Paul match, set for November 15th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Steele, who is now 80, won't be it, that much is certain. "No, man, I had enough," he said. However, he shared his views on several subjects, noting that the 2-minute rounds could put Paul at a disadvantage in an 8-round match. "I don't see the guy going that distance with Tyson," said Steele, who boxed professionally, going 12-4 from 1966 to 1970 before becoming a referee in 1972. He added, "Because Tyson, he's so strong and he's an ex-champion. He knows what he's doing, and for 2 minutes, he can go all out." Additionally, Steele stated that Paul would not benefit from the additional padding in the 14-ounce gloves that will be worn instead of the typical 10-ounce gloves. "That's still a small glove thinking about the power of Mike Tyson," he said. On October 23, 1999, Steele officiated a high-profile bout featuring Tyson. As the bell signaled the end of the first round, Tyson delivered a punch that floored his opponent, Orlin Norris. Steele docked Tyson 2 points on the judges' scorecards, while Norris claimed a knee injury from the knockdown that left him unable to continue. The fight was halted and declared a no contest. Steele said of Norris, "He didn't want no more. He just took the knee as a way to get out of the fight. It was a definite foul. But I think the punch was on the way and he couldn't stop it." Steele claimed to have recently seen a video of Tyson, 58, preparing to fight Paul, 27, by working a heavy bag. Steele said, "He's still dangerous. He has so much power. I just hope he don't end up getting hurt or hurt the other guy." Tyson, who recently turned 58, hasn't stepped into the professional ring since 2005, when Kevin McBride forced him to retire on his stool. Paul, meanwhile, has been actively fighting in professional boxing for the past 5 years and is currently in his physical prime at the age of 27. Katie Taylor admits she is worried for Mike Tyson as he gears up to face Jake Paul. Taylor, set to face Amanda Serrano in the co-main event tonight, grew up admiring Tyson, like countless boxers who have drawn inspiration from him. She has no desire to see him take a beating from Paul. "Yeah, there are obviously concerns there," the undisputed super lightweight queen told Talksport.com. "I don't want to see him getting hurt." She added, "As an icon of the sport, I have so much respect for Mike Tyson as a fighter, and what he has done for the sport. He's in there against a real young, fresh guy in Jake Paul, and he's a good athlete as well. But Mike Tyson seems to be very confident in himself. He seems to be putting the work in and training hard, so I hope he comes out on top." Taylor added, "But we will see what happens. That is what makes this such an amazing spectacle. You don't know what is going to happen in this fight, so everybody is going to be tuning in and it's going to be very interesting." When asked about her prediction for the fight, Taylor said, "I'm not sure who will come out on top. I really hope Mike Tyson can pull through, but Jake Paul is young and fresh. He's an impressive athlete and has shown he can hit pretty well, so it's hard to say." Taylor added, "But then again, I don't know how good Jake Paul takes a shot. I don't know how good his chin is. Mike Tyson can catch anyone with a good shot, so it's going to be very interesting. I'm obviously rooting for Mike Tyson." Taylor and Serrano will have a great evening regardless of the outcome of the main event. Both women are expected to rake in lucrative paydays exceeding $6 million for their eagerly awaited rematch. Their participation on the Paul vs. Tyson card will ensure this matchup becomes the most viewed women's boxing event in history. 8 years ago, Taylor could hardly have envisioned finding herself in this situation. Back then, she reached out to Eddie Hearn via social media, hoping to arrange a meeting to explore the opportunity of joining forces with Matchroom Boxing. She added, "When I first sent Eddie Hearn that DM a few years ago, I never thought in a million years I'd be in this position where I'm getting ready for another huge night. It's been an amazing journey over these last 8 years. Having a chance to fight at Madison Square Gardens, having a chance to headline back home in Ireland, and having an opportunity to fight on these huge cards." She further said, "And that all leads up to this moment where I'm fighting on a Mike Tyson undercard. This is unbelievable. Never in a million years did I think I would be sharing a card with such an icon and a legend of the sport. Every single person in boxing looks up to Mike Tyson, and now I get the opportunity to rub shoulders with him. This is unbelievable." The first meeting between Taylor and Serrano was a thrilling spectacle from beginning to end, garnering high praise from both fans and critics. Ultimately, Taylor emerged victorious by a narrow split decision, and now they're gearing up for a highly anticipated rematch, which will be streamed live on Netflix for millions of viewers worldwide. Nearly 20 years after retiring from the ring, the former undisputed heavyweight champion returns to face an opponent 3 decades his junior. This contentious matchup has drawn criticism from various corners of the boxing community due to the significant risks involved. This became evident when the fight was first delayed because of a medical concern involving Tyson, prompting Mike Perry, a former UFC fighter, to take his place. Perry was ultimately halted within 6 rounds. Following the loss, Perry appeared on Paul's podcast and made a victory prediction. Perry said, "I think Jake wins. I think you're younger, and I think you're doing the right things as far as what your team has you doing. It works. I wasn't able to add anything up on you. I wasn't able to have you punch yourself out. I wasn't able to get you on the ropes where I could release a flurry. And at 58, Mike's age is something I'm thinking about. I think you get that." 3 months later, during an interview on the Overdogs podcast, the bare-knuckle fighter, who has encountered difficulties outside the ring, concurred with Roy Jones Jr.'s evaluation that Tyson would emerge victorious. Perry added that he believed Mike would perform as if boxing were second nature to him, comparing it to riding a bike. He noted that both of them had looked impressive when they last fought, bringing a wealth of experience to the ring. Perry acknowledged that Mike was much more knowledgeable than he was in terms of boxing technique and expected that Mike wouldn't feel pressured to force the action, which he thought would be interesting to watch.
I think Mike too. I think Mike's gonna be just like, it's like riding a bike for him.
Savvy.
I mean, you guys looked great when you guys fought.
Yep. I'm telling you, he's still powerful.
A lot of experience in that ring, and you know, he's a lot smarter than I am, for sure, when it comes to boxing technique.
Been doing it his whole life.
He's not gonna feel overwhelmed to try and push the action.
Not at all.
That's gonna be interesting to see. And you know, speaking of the old guys, it was unfortunate, but I also think Jake and Vitor Belfort are 2 different characters. So Vitor...
More and more boxing figures are offering their predictions for the upcoming Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. The most recent to weigh in on the bout is heavyweight contender Jarrell Miller, the outspoken American known for his bravado, who has previously sparred with notable fighters such as Daniel Dubois and Andy Ruiz. In a recent conversation with pro boxing fans, Miller shared insights about the upcoming matchup, mentioning that he was originally slated to be part of the card earlier this year. He said, "I was supposed to be on the last undercard they had before it got pulled. Some miscommunication there." He then discussed his thoughts on the altercation, acknowledging that Paul's youth might have been a decisive element. He said, "If the fight happens, I don't know who's going to win that one. Jake is the younger guy, but this is boxing. The most recent challenger to step into the boxing ring against Paul was ex-UFC standout Mike Perry, who took on the fight after the altercation with Tyson in July. However, he has now completely reversed his earlier prediction for the match. The 31-year age gap between Tyson and Paul has raised eyebrows, particularly as Iron Mike prepares to enter the ring at 58 against the much younger 27-year-old. Interestingly, this bout nearly didn't happen at all. It was initially scheduled for July but was delayed due to Tyson dealing with an ulcer flare-up. Despite these challenges, one notable figure has come out in support of Tyson, someone who has not only witnessed the ups and downs of the boxing world, but has also squared off against Jake Paul himself. In a recent update on his Instagram story, Nate Diaz, the former UFC star and Stockton icon, posted a photo of Mike Tyson following a training session. Tyson was sporting gear from NDA Boxing, Diaz's clothing brand, and the caption read, "Let's go, Mike." Although Diaz has shown unwavering support for Tyson, the iconic boxer has sparked some controversy with his recent remarks regarding his expectations for the upcoming fight with Jake Paul. During a promotional video for the bout, Tyson had confessed, "If I win, I'll be immortal. If I do it bad, I don't want to die in a hospital bedroom. I want to die in the ring." But according to Eddie Hearn, a respected figure in boxing promotion, this fight is dangerous, irresponsible, and disrespectful to boxing. Having witnessed the rise and fall of boxing legends, Hearn views Tyson's comeback as a perilous endeavor. At 58, the thought of Iron Mike facing off against the significantly younger Paul strikes Hearn as a potential disaster waiting to happen. In a conversation with BBC Sport, Hearn stated, "I'm in awe of him. He's one of my favorite ever fighters, one of the greatest of all time, but he's a 58-year-old man. You only need to speak to him and look at him to know this guy should not be in a ring again." This isn't Tyson's first foray back into the ring in recent years. In 2020, he participated in an exhibition bout against fellow icon Roy Jones Jr., which was primarily seen as a nostalgic event for fans eager to revisit the past. Although spectators are undoubtedly excited to witness a living legend back in action, one must consider the toll it could take on Mike Tyson as he faces a younger, fiercely motivated opponent. Are concerns about Tyson's well-being misplaced, or is the real question whether the younger fighter can handle the pressure of competing against a heavyweight legend? Amid the electric atmosphere surrounding the highly anticipated match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, one figure stands apart, advocating for prudence, but oddly enough, not in defense of the former heavyweight champion. Richard Steele, a renowned Hall of Fame referee who has observed firsthand the chaos Tyson can create in the ring, warns that facing Tyson, even at the age of 58, is akin to entering a lion's den. A major topic of debate among boxing analysts and enthusiasts is the notable age difference between the fighters. Tyson, at 58, contrasts sharply with the youthful 27-year-old Paul. This gap has ignited fervent discussions throughout the boxing world, prompting many to speculate on how age might influence the outcome of their matchup. The situation presents a compelling dilemma, pitting the seasoned expertise of a veteran against the energy and dynamism of an emerging talent. Notably, UFC star Sean O'Malley appears to be joining in on this conversation as well. For the past 8 months, the Schmo has diligently gathered insights from industry experts regarding the anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. He has now assembled a video featuring a diverse array of sports figures and celebrities sharing their predictions for the match. Among those offering their opinions is former UFC bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley, who provides his candid perspective on the fight. He said, "There are limits to what you can do. I mean, his body has been through it, you know. You can't count him out. I just feel like Jake's too locked in it. He has been in it too long, like in the last 5 years, who has been in it more. I think that matters, and wait, he's 30 years younger. I just don't see this ending well for Uncle Mike Tyson." The native Montanan provided a reasoned analysis, appropriately pointing out the physical limitations Tyson faces at 58 years of age. He further noted that Paul has gradually honed his skills, evolving into a powerful competitor in the field. Suga stated, "Speed, I mean power. Even at this point, Jake's not a little guy. Jake's a big fella. He is just locked in. I think the rules set will play a role." Recently, the Montana native joined Jake Paul on his podcast, BS with Jake Paul, to delve into the upcoming fight set for November 15th. Here's a glimpse of their conversation. In a recent discussion regarding the upcoming boxing match, the former bantamweight champion expressed his thoughts on the chances of Mike Tyson emerging victorious. For those who may not know, Iron Mike last stepped into the ring for an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. O'Malley reflected upon Tyson's 4-year layoff and said, "So for him to just come up and get a fight, I'm sure he's going to be in as good shape as he possibly could be in. But it's just, you know, it's not his time right now." This debate has been a focal point of discussion throughout the year, with many supporters convinced that seasoned fighter Mike Tyson will come out on top against Jake Paul. Yet, the problem child, despite feeling the pressure of the impending match, has the potential to surpass Tyson, largely due to the advantage of youth. Additionally, Paul has consistently demonstrated his skills by defeating notable former UFC fighters such as Tyrone Woodley and Anderson Silva. Furthermore, O'Malley has expressed interest in stepping into the boxing ring against the problem child for a chance at a multi-million-dollar payout. It's possible that this cross-promotional fight could materialize in the future. Tyson recently posted a photo showcasing his chiseled physique, a sight that is bound to send shivers down Paul's spine. In the days leading up to the highly anticipated match, Iron Mike has been giving fans a glimpse into his training regimen through social media posts. Most recently, Tyson shared a striking photo of himself in action on X, accompanied by a succinct yet powerful warning directed at the problem child. Mike Tyson's final professional bout took place in April 2005, where he faced off against Kevin McBride. In that match, he was defeated by technical knockout, leading to his retirement from boxing. However, Tyson made a comeback in 2020, participating in an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr., which concluded in a draw. In the meantime, the problem child just secured a resounding victory against Mike Perry, elevating his career record to 10 wins and 1 loss. His sole defeat to date was at the hands of Tommy Fury. The 30-year age difference between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has sparked worries among fans for the legendary boxer, with Paul, 27, recently showcasing his skills in an impressive bout against former UFC fighter Mike Perry. The matchup raises questions about the fairness of Tyson stepping into the ring with someone in their prime. The announcement of the fight sparked considerable frustration and anger among many, who criticized Paul for what they deemed an unfair and illogical pairing. Detractors argue that he should face opponents who are more age-appropriate rather than taking on Tyson. This prevailing sentiment likely explains the apparent disapproval from fans, leading to reluctance in purchasing tickets for the event. Additionally, Tyson expressed his views on the potential of stepping into the ring against Jake Paul. Acknowledging their 31-year age difference, Tyson at 58 and Paul at 27, he reflected on their previous interactions. Tyson recalled how he had first given Paul a platform by letting him share the stage during his bout with Roy Jones. Now, after playing a role in launching Paul's career, Tyson finds himself considering the possibility of putting an end to it.
Oh, that's so ill. I'm 60 years old, he's 27, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're older than he is, but you are Mike Tyson and he isn't.
Exactly. I started, to matter of fact, thank you. I started Jake Paul off.
Can I ask you, how did you start him off?
On my fight with Roy Jones, I allowed him to fight on the card, and I decided I started him, and I'm going to finish him.
At the press conference, Jake Paul made a striking comparison to Muhammad Ali, taking direct verbal jabs at Canelo Alvarez. With their eagerly awaited November fight approaching, anticipation is soaring, fueled further by Paul's electric showdown with Tyson at Fanatics Fest NYC at the Javits Center. Paul's flair for self-promotion rivals his skill in the ring, underscoring his reputation as a formidable force in the sport. Asked about his critics, he said, "At the end of the day, people are always going to have something to say. It's because of who I am. I proved everyone wrong." Reminder, the most hated and most criticized boxer in the sport of boxing before they loved them was Muhammad Ali. Paul is also already looking ahead to what comes next after the Tyson fight. He added, "I'm still on the path to become world champion. There's a lot of talkers out there, a lot of big names who want to fight me. I still want Canelo Alvarez and I want to go on the path to world championship, and that's what I'm here to do. And I will make it happen. And when it happens, people are going to go, 'God damn, that kid did something we didn't.'" Asked why he's fighting, he replied, "Making history. This is what it's all about for me, man. I'm a kid from Ohio. They'll never give me credit, that's the way it is. If I was walking on water, they would say it's because I couldn't swim. And this is to make history. The people think I'm going to get knocked out by this strong, powerful guy." Ahead of their impending fight, Mike Tyson has given Jake Paul a terrifying warning. If his mother stepped into the ring, he would even fight her. In a recent interview with TalkSport, Tyson was questioned about his worries regarding Paul's well-being, considering the significant challenge that lies ahead. He confidently asserted that the young American understands the gravity of the situation, even mentioning his mother in his response. He stated, "Whoever is in that ring has a problem with me. If my mother stepped into the ring, she has a problem with me. Don't go in that ring if you don't want that problem." Questions about the boxing legend's health have emerged as the November showdown approaches, especially following Tyson's withdrawal from the initially scheduled July bout. However, in the same interview, when asked about his current health status, the former world champion reassured, "Everything is sorted out. I had an ulcer problem. I was eating bad food. When asked about his preparation for the upcoming fight on November 15th, Iron Mike Tyson simply replied, "Thank God." He is confident that the disparity in their skill sets will be the decisive factor leading to Paul's defeat. He can fight for boxers his level. I do not believe he can compete at my level, Tyson told Fox 4 Dallas. He added, "I'm just going in there with bad intentions, and my intention is to hurt this young man as soon as I catch him, because he's going to run like a thief. I don't see how he's going to make it an exciting fight by running all day. He's supposed to be the young guy. He's supposed to walk right through me. I'm an old man, but he's going to run all night. He should try it. He's a younger man. He should be able to take punches from an old and withering man like me." He then said, "I can't wait for this evening to happen. I just don't think he's taking it seriously. I think he believes he's the young guy, and I'm the quasi-retirement child. They may think I'm an easy touch. The fans won't believe the spectacle that's going to happen. It'll be something they've never experienced before as far as pain is concerned." So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.